300 perfect stone balls scattered across Costa Rica's jungle. And nobody knows why they exist. Ancient people carved 15-ton spheres with mathematical precision that would challenge modern engineers. In Costa Rica's rainforest, giant stone marbles lie abandoned like toys of the gods. These aren't just rocks. They're 1,000-year-old mysteries that scientists still can't explain. Imagine finding hundreds of perfect stone spheres in the jungle, each one defying explanation. But before revealing these mysteries, subscribe us so you don't miss our videos. Deep in Costa Rica's jungle, over 300 perfect stone spheres lie scattered like ancient bowling balls, abandoned by giants. In the dense rainforests of southern Costa Rica, archaeologists have uncovered one of the world's most perplexing mysteries. These aren't just rocks. They are perfectly round stone spheres, some weighing up to 15 tons and measuring 7 feet across. Crafted with mathematical precision that rivals modern engineering, these spheres were created by the Dikis, people between 600 and 1000 AD. What makes them truly mysterious? No two are exactly alike, yet each maintains perfect spherical geometry. Some are made from local sedimentary rock, others from granite found miles away. How did ancient peoples transport these massive stones through dense jungle without wheels or large animals? Even more puzzling, why create them at all? Theories abound. Were they astronomical calendars tracking celestial movements? Symbols of social status for powerful chiefs? Markers pointing towards sacred sites? Some researchers believe they represent a sophisticated understanding of geometry and mathematics that challenges our assumptions about pre-Columbian civilizations. Today, many spheres remain in their original positions, while others have been moved or damaged. The Costa Rican government now protects these enigmatic artifacts as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, but their true purpose may never be fully understood. What ancient knowledge was lost with the Dikis people? Subscribe to uncover more archaeological mysteries that challenge everything we think we know about the past. Imagine waking up one morning to find the sun has simply vanished. No eclipse, no explanation, just darkness where daylight should be. Throughout recorded history, entire regions have been plunged into inexplicable darkness during what should have been broad daylight. These dark days have terrorized populations and baffled scientists for centuries. The most famous occurred on May 19, 1780, when New England was consumed by an unnatural darkness so complete that candles were needed at noon. Witnesses described an otherworldly experience. Roosters crowed as if night had fallen, flowers closed, their petals and livestock returned to their shelters in confusion. The darkness was so profound that people couldn't see their hands in front of their faces. Religious congregations believed Judgment Day had arrived, while others feared supernatural forces at work. Modern meteorologists have proposed various theories: massive wildfires creating unprecedented smoke clouds, volcanic ash from distant eruptions, or unusual atmospheric conditions. But none fully explain the complete absence of light or why these events occur so rarely and unpredictably. Similar dark days have been documented worldwide, from medieval Europe to colonial America to modern-day incidents. Each time the scientific community scrambles for explanations, but the atmospheric mechanics behind these phenomena remain largely theoretical. The most unsettling aspect? These dark days seem to happen without warning. affecting only specific regions while areas just miles away remain completely normal. What other atmospheric anomalies are hiding in plain sight? From above, they look like a giant's art gallery. Massive earthworks shaped like bears, birds, and serpents sprawling across the American landscape. Scattered throughout the upper Midwest, over 4,000 ancient earthworks rise from the ground in the unmistakable shapes of animals. These aren't random hills, they're deliberate sculptures crafted by Native American cultures between 300 and 1300 AD. Some stretch over 200 feet long, requiring thousands of tons of earth moved basket by basket. The complexity is staggering. The Effigy Serpent Mound in Ohio undulates for 1,300 feet in perfect serpentine curves. In Wisconsin, eagle effigies spread their wings across entire hilltops, while bear mounds prowl through valleys. Each required precise planning, coordinated labor, and generations of maintenance. But why build them? Archaeological excavations reveal few burial remains, suggesting they weren't primarily cemeteries. Instead, researchers believe these sacred sites served as ceremonial centers, astronomical observatories, or territorial markers. Some align with celestial events. The summer solstice perfectly illuminates certain mounds at dawn. The most mysterious aspect? Many can only be fully appreciated from above, at heights impossible for their creators to reach. Did these ancient peoples possess knowledge of aerial perspective we don't understand? Were they building for spiritual beings they believed flew overhead? European settlement destroyed thousands of these monuments, leaving us with fragments of a sophisticated cultural practice we're only beginning to comprehend. What other ancient mysteries are literally beneath our feet? In the middle of the North Atlantic lies a sea without shores, where ships vanish without sending a single distress signal. The Sargasso Sea defies nature itself, a 2 million square mile ocean, region defined not by land, but by floating seaweed and swirling currents. For centuries, sailors have reported an eerie calm here, where ships become trapped in masses of sargassum weed like flies in amber. But the real mystery isn't the seaweed, it's the disappearances. Historical records document dozens of vessels that entered these waters and were never seen again. Unlike the Bermuda Triangle's sensationalized stories, these disappearances are well documented. Passenger ships with hundreds of souls, cargo vessels worth millions, military craft on routine missions, all vanished without trace or explanation. The Caucasus Sea's unique geography creates a natural trap. 4 major ocean currents form a massive gyre, creating a relatively motionless center where debris accumulates. The water here is exceptionally deep, over 3 miles in places, making recovery operations nearly impossible. Some theories suggest powerful underwater currents or methane gas eruptions could sink ships instantly. More disturbing are reports from surviving crews of other vessels. They describe an unsettling atmosphere, compasses spinning wildly, electronic equipment malfunctioning, and an oppressive silence broken only by the whisper of seaweed against hull. Weather conditions can change from dead calm to violent storms within minutes. Modern satellite tracking has reduced losses, but the Sargasso Sea continues claiming victims, adding new names to its ghostly registry. Canadian miners expected to find oil. Instead, they unearthed a dragon, a 110-million-year-old creature so perfectly preserved It looks like it died yesterday. In 2011, heavy machinery operator Sean Funk made the discovery of a lifetime. While excavating at an Alberta oil sands mine, his shovel struck something that would rewrite paleontological textbooks. What emerged wasn't fossil. It was practically a mummy, a nodosaur so perfectly preserved that scientists could see individual scales, skin texture, and even its last meal. This wasn't ordinary fossilization. Usually, only bones survive millions of years. But this 3,000-pound, 18-foot-long armored herbivore was preserved through a process so rare that researchers are still studying how it happened. The creature's spiky plates, skin, and internal organs remained intact, as if frozen in time rather than turned to stone. The preservation is so extraordinary that scientists can determine the dinosaur's original coloring, reddish-brown with counter-shading for camouflage. They've identified its stomach contents, revealing its final meal of ferns and cycads. Even more remarkable, the positioning suggests the creature was swept out to sea and buried rapidly in mineral-rich sediments that acted like natural embalming fluid. Named Borealopelta Mark Mitchelley, this discovery challenges everything we thought we knew about fossilization. How many other prehistoric creatures might be preserved with such detail? What conditions could create such perfect preservation that scales and skin survive 110 million years when most organic material decomposes within decades? Rising from the North Atlantic like ancient stone gods, these towering sea stacks guard secrets that only the bravest explorers dare to uncover. In the remote Faroe Islands, where Viking legends still whisper on the wind, stands one of nature's most spectacular and mysterious formations. The Drangarnir sea stacks rise 115 feet from churning Atlantic waters, creating towering stone doorways that seem carved by supernatural forces. But these aren't just pretty rocks. They're geological time machines hiding secrets in every layer. What makes them truly mysterious isn't their beauty, but their formation. These stacks are remnants of ancient lava flows from 50 million years ago, when the North Atlantic was born through volcanic fury. Yet they stand perfectly intact, while surrounding cliffs have crumbled into the sea. What geological forces preserved these specific formations while destroying everything around them? The journey to reach them is treacherous, a grueling 2-mile hike across unmarked terrain where weather can change from calm to deadly in minutes. Those who attempt the boat approach face some of the world's most dangerous waters, where currents shift unpredictably and waves can reach 50 feet. Local legends speak of these stacks as gateways between worlds, where ancient Norse spirits still dwell. Sailors report strange lights dancing around the formations on foggy nights, and compass needles spinning wildly in their vicinity. Modern visitors describe an overwhelming sense of being watched, as if the stacks themselves are alive and aware. Why? Do these particular formations inspire such supernatural reverence? What ancient knowledge connects them to similar megalithic structures worldwide? Sealed behind mysterious stone plugs for over 2,000 years, hidden chambers in the Caucasus Mountains guard treasures that challenge everything we know about ancient civilizations. High in the remote Caucasus Mountains, where Europe meets Asia, archaeologists have discovered megalithic structures that shouldn't exist. These aren't simple burial sites. They're sophisticated underground complexes sealed with precisely fitted stone plugs, each weighing several tons. What lies behind these ancient barriers has revolutionized our understanding of Bronze Age civilizations. Inside these sealed chambers, researchers have found treasures that seem impossibly advanced. Intricate jewelry displaying metallurgical techniques not seen elsewhere for centuries, bronze tools crafted with precision rivaling modern manufacturing, and pottery decorated with symbols that appear nowhere else in the archaeological record. The craftsmanship suggests a level of sophistication that contradicts traditional timelines of human technological development. But the real mystery isn't what's inside. It's why these chambers were sealed so deliberately. The stone plugs weren't placed randomly. They required sophisticated engineering and considerable manpower to install. Someone wanted these treasures hidden permanently, suggesting they held significance beyond mere burial goods. Carbon dating reveals these structures span different time periods, yet all follow identical sealing methods. This implies a continuous, cultural practice lasting centuries, dedicated to preserving specific knowledge or artifacts. Were these religious sanctuaries protecting sacred objects? Emergency caches hidden during times of war? Or something else entirely? The symbols found on artifacts don't match any known ancient writing system, suggesting a lost language or specialized ceremonial script. What knowledge did these people consider so important that they sealed it away forever? For days, maybe weeks, a killer lived in the attic above a German family's heads, watching their daily routines before brutally ending their lives. On a quiet farm near Munich, the Gruber family lived their final days unaware that death was literally lurking overhead. The year was 1922, and what happened at Hinterkaifeck Farm would become Germany's most infamous unsolved crime, a case so disturbing that it continues to haunt investigators a century later. The warning signs were there, strange footprints in the snow leading to the farmhouse but not away from it, unexplained sounds from the attic, keys disappearing and reappearing, and the family's growing sense of being watched. Andreas Gruber, the family patriarch, discovered these footprints weeks before the murders, but dismissed them. That decision cost 6 lives. On March 31st, 1922, someone used a mattock, a farming tool, to systematically murder the entire family. The brutality was methodical, suggesting intimate knowledge of the household routine. Most chilling of all, evidence suggests the killer remained on the farm for days after the murders, feeding the livestock and even eating meals in the kitchen, while the bodies lay nearby. The investigation revealed over 100 suspects, but no conviction. Theories range from family members escaping justice to traveling criminals to occult ritualists. Recent forensic analysis using modern techniques has eliminated some possibilities, but created new questions about the killer's identity and motive. What transforms this from mere historical crime to enduring mystery is the psychological profile it creates. A killer patient enough to observe the family for weeks, methodical enough to eliminate witnesses systematically, and disturbed enough to continue living among the corpses. What other cold cases hide secrets that could finally be solved? Right now, as you read this, 4% of people around you are hearing a sound that doesn't exist. A persistent, maddening hum that nobody else can detect. Imagine a sound that follows. You everywhere. A low-frequency buzzing that penetrates walls, drowns out silence, and slowly drives you to desperation. For millions worldwide, this isn't imagination. It's daily reality. They call it the hum, and it's one of science's most perplexing acoustic mysteries. First documented in Taos, New Mexico, in the 1990s, the hum has since been reported globally. Sufferers describe a persistent droning noise, like a diesel engine, idling in the distance, or electrical equipment humming through walls. The sound is most noticeable at night, often preventing sleep and causing anxiety, irritability, and depression. What makes the hum truly mysterious is its selective nature. In affected areas, only certain individuals can hear it, typically between 2 to 11% of the population. These hearers share few common characteristics. Age, gender, profession, and health status show no clear patterns. Some develop the ability to hear it suddenly. Others lose it just as inexplicably. Scientific investigations have ruled out most external sources. The frequency is too low for most industrial equipment, and the global distribution eliminates local causes. Theories range from tinnitus variants to electromagnetic sensitivity to seismic activity, too subtle for instruments to detect, but somehow perceived by sensitive individuals. The most disturbing aspect? The hum appears to be increasing in both frequency and intensity worldwide. Climate change, industrial expansion, or emerging technologies might be amplifying whatever phenomenon creates this phantom sound. 1,000 years ago, one of the world's most advanced civilizations simply vanished, leaving behind sophisticated cities and a mystery that archaeologists still can't solve. In the Indus Valley, where Pakistan and India meet today, archaeologists have uncovered the remains of a civilization so advanced it rivals anything built in the ancient world. The Harappan people created massive cities with sophisticated drainage systems, standardized weights and measures, and urban planning that wouldn't look out of place in a modern metropolis. Then, around 1500 BC, they disappeared without a trace. Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, their greatest cities, housed up to 40,000 people each. Streets were laid out in perfect grids, every house connected to an elaborate sewage system more advanced than those in medieval Europe. They had public baths, granaries, and docks for international trade. Their civilization stretched across 500,000 square miles, larger than Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. Yet despite their sophistication, the Harappans left no temples, palaces, or monuments to rulers. Their society appears to have been remarkably egalitarian, with standardized housing and no obvious class distinctions. Most mysteriously, their written script, found on thousands of seals and pottery, remains completely undeciphered despite decades of attempts by linguists worldwide. What caused their collapse remains hotly debated. Climate change dried up rivers, making agriculture impossible. Tectonic activity may have altered the landscape. Some evidence suggests invasion by Indo-Aryan peoples, but none of these theories fully explains why such an advanced civilization would vanish so completely, leaving barely any cultural influence on subsequent societies. The Harappans mastered urban planning, international trade, and social organization, millennia before other civilizations. What knowledge died with them? What other lost civilizations are waiting to be rediscovered? Subscribe to explore humanity's forgotten chapters that could revolutionize our understanding of the past.